Hi. Since I put out my book recently, I've had a lot of people who have asked what I eat. I know it's kind of a strange question, but I don't eat like the standard American does. The standard American diet and the way I eat are quite different. But I've been asked to talk about what I eat on a daily basis, and so I'm doing this video. So if you find that you like this and it's useful for you, great. I would recommend, if you will, that you hit the subscribe button down below, and we'll notify you when there's more videos coming out. So I'm going to do a whole bunch of videos, especially on the specific things that I'm talking about today, but go into much more detail, and if you want them, where you get them and the price. We've shopped around trying to find the best price possible for the best quality, and so here we go. Usually in the mornings I eat, we have organic eggs, and I usually have about 3 to 6 eggs a day, and they look kind of cutesy. See here, they're kind of color coordinated, kind of nice. I usually eat 3 to 6 eggs a day, and I have real salt. The little container's about empty here, but I use the real salt instead of the regular bleached salt. That's my normal breakfast. Quite often I'll have bananas or some other fruit with that, maybe some orange juice, but quite a bit of protein even starting out the day. Then I will usually have a snack, and this is really common. This is one of my main staples, is I have a trail mix. I'm not sure if you can see that, but the trail mix consists of almonds, cashews, walnuts, dates, there's some Brazil nuts in there, a few macadamias, and a lot of pumpkin seeds. I go through quite a few pumpkin seeds. I just found they're really healthy for me. They work really well. But I graze on my trail mix quite often through the day. It's quite tasty. Then usually around lunchtime I will go with a protein drink. This is my preferred one. It comes in different flavors, but the Orgain protein powder. It doesn't have any animal protein in it. It has like brown rice protein. Doesn't have any soy in it. Pea protein, stuff like that. This one I found is really good. You can get this one off of Amazon for reasonably inexpensive. And I'll have 1 or 2 of these a day. Sometimes also I'll have the bone broth protein shakes. This is really good heated up, especially in the evenings, or if it's cold outside. This is really good with some coconut oil. The coconut oil that I really prefer, there's regular coconut oil that solidifies at room temperature. We buy this by the 5-gallon bucket, use that for cooking and a bunch of things. But if you want something more concentrated, I like the Bulletproof Brain Octane oil. This is concentrated coconut oil, and it stays liquid at room temperature. It's quite concentrated, and trust me from experience, don't start out too heavy on this. You will be sorry. So start light and work your way up. Usually I'll mix these two together, about a tablespoon of this and then a glass of that. It's really quite tasty. I feel that cleansing is really important, so I will do a lot of that. But then when you're doing that also, I recommend you do a build right afterwards. I do from the Cash Meadow Creamery, this is where we get our raw milk from. There is a honey vanilla yogurt, so a probiotic in addition, like the yogurts and maybe some kimchi or like sauerkraut, things that work as a probiotic. But I like the yogurt. That's really good. Or you can do, or in addition, you can also do, I like the ProBio 5 and the Bio Cleanse from Plexus also. That's really good. I usually do those in the evening before I go to bed, on the times when I'm not fasting. Another thing that's really important, is, I feel, is to do intermittent fasting or fasting according to what works for you. Some people can't do it because of blood sugar issues or whatever. I try to do some cleansing often. I'll usually stop eating around 6 o'clock in the evening and then not eat again until 9 o'clock the next morning. So it's about a 15-hour fast for several days of the week, maybe 5 days of the week. So intermittent fasting, but then again, do with what works for you, gives your digestion a chance to calm down. Also, this is a really big one, water. Lots of water. If you could do, I try to do 6 to 8 glasses a day, trying to get enough water in. Especially, we have an alkaline water machine. It's downstairs, we fill it up in here. And that is alkalinity about 9.5 to 9.7. So it's very, very alkaline, causing water. And it's also been filtered, ionized, the molecule is smaller, and it has a really high frequency. So water is imperative, even when you're not cleansing, just the day-to-day stuff. So I highly recommend really good, clean, pure water. Another thing so for dinner I'll usually have a little bit of meat, usually the chicken, like I said, chicken or turkey. Do a lot of vegetables, spinach, lots of spinach, that's really, really good. And this is sprouts. Sprouts are really full of pranic energy, they're really, really healthy for you. So I'll go through a lot of those. And that's kind of like eating rabbit food, but it's really, really good for you. Avocados, great. Those are really good if you can get a good source of those. Vegetables. I'm hoping to get a juicer coming up for Christmas. Celery juice, vegetable juice, if you can palate that. Really, really good for you. I do a lot of garlic. Try to do as much, the healthy herbs, healthy spices, and stuff like that. We go through a lot of garlic. Olive oil, the healthy fats. Lots of olive oil, lots of coconut oil, some almond oil, and we will do the raw butter occasionally. So some people are a little more vegan, but you can do the coconut oil, the almond oil, and the olive oil quite easily. Also, I do a lot of MCT oil, monochain triglyceride, very, very good for you, and that's in addition to the regular coconut oil that I go through. I do quite often to do a smoothie. In my smoothie, I'll put the acacia fiber, also chia seeds, lots of chia seeds in there. Some more kelp. Kelp is really, really good for like the iodine. Sometimes I'll just do straight iodine. This is Lugol's iodine. J. Crow's, go through quite a bit of that. And when I can't get enough regular garlic in my diet, I'll do encapsulated garlic from Nature's Sunshine. I like this one because it doesn't make your breath smell really garlicky, but it's really quite effective. Also, boron. Boron's really good. It's kind of more of a cleanse, but it's a good builder too. Go through a lot of that. So I do go through a lot of supplements. Turmeric, really fabulous, especially for reducing inflammation. Lutein, good for the eyes. Really, really good for the eyes. And you want good quality. If you shop around, you don't have to spend a lot of money for good quality supplements, but some of the things you do want to pay a little more for, like this is a little more expensive. We usually just get it off of Amazon, but I find it's well worth it. The Plexus products, really love the Plexus products. The X Factor Plus and the Omegas in the Mega X, really, really good. These are a good combination, especially if you find that you're dragging. If I get really tired, sometimes I'll take an extra one of these. I usually do about one a day. Then there's the Toxin Out by Dr. Natura's. That's really good, especially when you're mixing it with the Perenel and the fiber. Great for pulling out metals and other forms of toxins. That's really, really good. It requires a lot of energy to maintain waste in the body. So if you can clean out the body, you're going to have extra energy to do what you need to rather than having just to maintain waste. Also a lot of vitamin D3. Some people get D3 deficient, especially in the winter time, if you can't get enough sunlight, but I sometimes will take extra of that, usually in the evenings, and this is a really good one. I love this one. Fermented skate oil. It is really, really good, especially for decalcifying the pineal gland, I feel. I love that. I usually do one or two of those a day. One of the main staples that I forgot is, and this is not for everybody, but we do raw cow's milk. I don't prefer to drink regular cow's milk that's been homogenized and pasteurized, but I really like the raw milk, especially when you mix the raw milk with the protein powder or the bone broth protein powder, which is fabulous. And then even then adding a little bit of brain octane to it, so it's really full of a lot of healthy fats. I usually have some more snacks in the afternoon. Sometimes I'll have like apples, quite a bit of fruit. and also some more trail mix, lots of nuts and seeds. And if I am hungry, if I'm doing a lot of activities where I need more calories, I'll have a second protein shake. And you can add a bunch of other things to the protein shake in addition to the coconut oil. Usually I'll do that. Sometimes I will add in some acacia fiber, which is really good, especially on the months when I cleanse, and things like that. For dinner, I usually will have, I don't eat a lot of meat. Sometimes we'll have chicken, try to get really quality chicken, occasionally turkey, but not very often pork or beef. Try to avoid that one. When you go with meat, I recommend you go good quality. Good quality is better, especially when you're dealing with that. So not a lot of meat, but a little bit because of the protein and the healthy fats. Some of the supplements, I go through a lot of supplements. That's like, yeah, we go through a lot. In the months when I'm cleansing, I usually try to do a cleanse and a build. So like on the odd months, I will do a build, so like January, March, so on, and then try to do a cleanse the even months. And then that can adjust a little bit from week to week, or I'd rather cleanse in the spring and the fall, and a little more building in the winter. Especially when it's like really cold, it's better to do that. But I do a lot of supplements when I am doing the cleansing. This is just a regular, it's Nature's Secret Ultimate Cleanse. Just bought this at the health food store. This is quite common and an easy one. A really good one is through Dr. Natura's. This one I really prefer. It's called the Clarity. I don't do this every day because it's a little too much. So maybe once or twice a week. That is really, really good. So cleansing is really, really important. There's the Cholinex fiber. That's really good, especially when it's mixed with the toxin out from Dr. Natura's also, and the Paranel. Paranel is really, really good, especially for the cleansing of the liver and the gallbladder. And then again, this is just for me. You have to work with what works for you, and everybody's a little bit different. If you're really, really toxic, you want to start something light and easy, maybe do a light cleanse, and then go from there. But everybody's a little bit different. The Bio Cleanse from Plexus is a good way to start, I've found, because it's kind of gentle and mild, whereas the Clarity is a lot more intense. Also, the Plexus Slim is really, really good for cleansing. It's also good for getting rid of toxins, stuff like that, for weight loss or anything else. In my book, I talk in there about one of the characters and how he eats, and the recommendations that are given in the book is very, very much like how I eat right now. I know there's better ways to do it, but I found that I have more energy, I just feel better when I eat better. There's a direct correlation between the food you eat and how you feel. So I'm going to go into more details on these products later on and in other videos. This is just what I do, this is just my opinion, how I feel that I should, and I notice a difference in my life. So I hope you found this information useful. If it works for you, great. If it doesn't, that's fine too. I would recommend you talk to a professional if you have any questions, especially for you specifically, what works for you and what doesn't. We are putting out our second book, Golden Emerald, here pretty soon, and that's going to give a lot more detail, a lot more ideas, more specifically on different types of products, and that's a fictional format, but it's a really good idea for most people. If you found this is useful, hit the subscribe button below. We're going to be doing more videos more specifically on the other products, and I hope you enjoy this. So thanks so much for your time.